for lighting to go up. Sweet. Okay, everyone. Sam22 Frogger talking again on Onision, aka YouTube's very own cultist. Now, I decided to never make a video on this guy again, but on the topic of him making videos on his cult that he originally decided to never talk about again, but for some reason is coming up into the forefront and talking about yet again. Judging by the videos that he has posted before, or released over the last couple of days, he's been nitpicking on topics that he feels he could talk about his religion, and before he goes any further with anything, I decided to talk more about what he's not talking about as of right now, in hopes of educating people before they buy into his shit. Like any kind of cult. And sure, every religion sort of starts off as a cult, but it all depends on the benefit of not just the people that are subscribing to said cult, but also people of the masses. Is it something that they can believe in, give them hope, etc., etc.? And sure, religions have doctrines and rhetoric that not all people dig. But the thing is the difference between what he's doing and actual religions. I'm going to touch on some of his topics that, you know, might mimic Eastern faith, but give you an example of why it is not okay, why it is not Eastern philosophy. Considering that I'm a pagan, I have a lot of Eastern philosophy as well as Western philosophy. I'm going to touch on a few other things. Okay. In my video description box, you will find links to two videos done by some guy 27 Stevie about YouTube's very own cultist talking about Onision, and he's reading off of posts from he found off of waybackmachine.org if you type in onision.com and go to the earliest date. I'm going to bring up things from that link from Wayback Machine that I can bet money he ain't going to be talking about. I'm pretty sure he ain't going to talk about his views on vegetarianism, veganism, etc. His viewpoints on how he is spiritually and how everybody else isn't, and his viewpoints on people that eat meat. Do I know if he still views like that about people that eat meat? I don't know. I don't know. More than likely he does. He hasn't exhibited any kind of traits that he does, but he might. Okay, essentially, yeah, he did get it right. He said that he created a religion back when he was 17 years old, and he followed it for about a year. Okay. Now, waybackmachine.org for onision.com, it shows everything from back when he was about, I would say about 17, maybe early 20s, 22. Now, if this is the case, and the earliest thing is 2005, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 8 years ago, you're 28 years old, dude. That means you were in your mid-20s, not 17, when you were talking about all this openly on your forums. So you didn't follow it until you were about 18 and became an agnostic right then and there. The posts that we found on the internet date you back to being about 22 years old, talking about Sicesca, talking about your viewpoints on Sicesca, not when you were 17 and ending it when you were 18 years old. So, caught you in a lie right there. His viewpoints on his faith is, if you were to hurt Mother Nature, Mother Earth, in any kind of facet or another, you are subjected to becoming the fertilizer for this planet. So essentially, if you eat meat, you pollute in any kind of way, really. you're subjected to being in the middle of his genocide. This kind of falls underneath anybody that is a meat eater, anyone that smokes or drinks, etc., etc. So, alright, so what is he now talking about? Life after death, angels, this, that, and the third. But he ain't talking about anything else, and why is that? Did I just catch him before he started talking about all of his insanity? Or is he not going to talk about insanity and he's trying to now subject his subscribers to his bullshit? Another thing I want to talk about. He states that he feels like God, or that he is God. Now here's the difference between Eastern philosophy and his viewpoints. Eastern philosophy is that we are all of God, therefore we are God. Everybody from a rabbit, a blade of grass, the air, water, you, me, etc., etc. We are all God. It's not one person in particular. Not one person is higher or lower than the other person. It's all about remembering self, self-awareness, God realization. Okay. He feels that he's better and higher than everybody, that he has some kind of significant source connection with the higher power, or that he is the higher power. That's the difference between him and Eastern philosophy. One is okay because it has a sense of giving people hope, talking about how you are more than what you think you are. Whereas him, it's sort of like, bow down to me. You know, there's this, that, and the third going on. I'm God. Therefore, if I say, hey, you know, if you're going to pollute the earth, if you're going to eat the animals, da-da-da-da-da, you should bow down and take my word. Or be subjected to genocide. There are other things inside of the link that I'm sending in the description that explains everything in greater detail than I have, because it's straight from the horse's mouth. All I gotta say is dig, because if you dig in the wrong place, you can go right to his now current Onision website. If you dig some more, you can go into the whole cult thing. So you have to kind of navigate his website, his old website, correctly in order to find his old posts. You know, if you scroll down the wrong way, you're going to be right inside of onision.net now. So, and the other two videos, Stevie's actually reading off from printed out papers from the website, and he's reading it word for word for you. Not everything word for word, just a couple of highlighted articles that depict the insanity to a T. And instead of reading fucking like years and years of paperwork. So here's a major lie that you came into contact with, sir, is the mere fact that you were not 18 when you became an agnostic. You in fact never were an agnostic, and you were writing about Sicesca, your cult, when you were 22 on Onision.com. So this has been M22 Frogger owning Onision and hopefully educating some people in the process. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and if you want more of these videos, again, I'll be willing to do it if that's what you wish to see. But yeah, Greg, I hope you see this. I really do. Not done with you yet. Do you want to continue to be a little dumbass? Fine, we can play this game. Anyway, M22 Frogger, signing out.